Iowa has a very close Senate race. Many people say the presidential pick will play a role in who ultimately wins. So why should Iowa vote for you again and Senator Ernst?
Well, I think nobody's done what I've done for the farmer and for Iowa. When you had the flooding, when you had all of the problems, the bad weather problems, I was there for you so fast. And then when you look at ethanol, I got it, as you know, I got it year round. I got it taken care of. I got it 15 and year round. Nobody ever thought that would happen. And then I worked it out. So I think in November 15th, it's going all the way to, we took away the various things from other competitors and we gave it to the ethanol people. And that has to do with your corn. And maybe the biggest thing of all, frankly, was I got $28 billion from China because Iowa and other farm areas were, as you know, they were targeted by China. And so I put tariffs on China. And now China, frankly, is ordering more from Iowa than they've ever ordered in the history of our country. Corn, soybeans, beef. They've never ordered anything like it, Rachel. So I think that nobody's even come close. But I got the farmers $28 billion, $28 billion with a B. And that's why the farmers are doing well. Otherwise, the farmers would have been out of business. They would have literally been out of business because China was targeting them. And China paid for every penny of it.
And now Iowa farmers have had a tough few years. I'm sure you're aware of that. And one area many were excited about was your commitment to eliminating small refinery waivers. Ultimately, your administration held true to that promise this year, but there was concern that wouldn't happen because of rules passed by the EPA. Are you committed to blending an annual net of 15 billion gallons of biofuels into the nation's fuel supply for the next 4 years?
Yeah, I'm doing that, sure. I'm doing that. And I got rid of the waivers. And by the way, the farmers are thrilled. I mean, maybe, the ethanol people, corn people, but they're thrilled. Nobody else would have done that but me, Rachel. Because, ethanol is always controversial. But I like it. And I worked with the ethanol people. I worked with Joni Ernst and with Chuck Grassley, two great people. I know Chuck is always in great shape, and I call him unbeatable. And Joni should be unbeatable, too, because she's done a fantastic job. She works so hard. She calls me so much about ethanol and about the corn and about subsidy for, like the $28 billion that I got. Joni calls me as much as anybody calls about anything. And that's what a good senator is supposed to be doing. She's not doing it for herself. She's calling to help the people of Iowa. And I'll tell you, I don't know how she's doing. I hope she's doing fine. I can tell you, nobody works harder for the farmers or for Iowa than Joni and Chuck too. I mean, I watched him yesterday at the hearing. That guy he's unbelievable.
Now, switching gears, Iowa was one of the first states to announce a return to in-person learning for students, something you are in strong support of. Why do you feel these students need to be in the classroom when many teachers have voiced COVID-19 safety concerns?
Well, one thing that has come out, and it's very interesting, is that students have to be in the classroom. You see all about Zoom and all about the computer stuff, and we have done tremendously well on telehealth. And that, you don't have to necessarily go into the doctor's office, etc. That's gone up thousands of percent. But it's been amazing. But the one thing we have learned is that computer learning is not the same as being in a classroom. And we've learned that loud and clear over the last year. So we want to have the students get back. They're young, they're strong, their immune systems are great. It's 99.9%. They're not going to have a problem. If they do, they get over it very quickly. And, no, we want to have them back, and the governor wants to have them back. You have a great governor in Kim, by the way. Great. Not good, great. And you have great people there. And you look at Terry Branstad and his son Eric, the great job they do. They love there's something about Iowa. Me too. I love Iowa. And everybody loves it. You got great people there. Great people.
And now I understand an Iowan is getting a special award from you today. If you want to explain a little bit about that.
Well, that's right. So you have a gentleman named Dan Gable, who was a legend all over the country, all over the world. And Dan was a great wrestler, and You know, a big fan of his is Jim Jordan, because Jim Jordan was a great wrestler. But I always say to Jim, were you as good as Dan? He goes, nobody was as good as Dan. Jim would say that. Jim had he was a champion wrestler too in college. Dan, I believe he was 188-1. In other words, 188 wins and 1 loss. And what happened, he went into the Olympics, and he was wrestling in the Olympics, and he won the gold medal. And I believe he didn't allow any wrestler 1 point, and one of the greatest wrestlers in the world was the Russian that he beat in the final. So he came home with the gold medal. And so Dan Gable, and he was a great coach. Jordan said he's as good a coach as he was a wrestler. He had a long, as you know all about him. He had a tremendous race. So I'm presenting him. I don't know if we'll do it today or shortly thereafter. And you're the first person that knows about this. I'm presenting Dan Gable with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is, along with the Congressional Medal of Honor, the highest award you can get in the United States. The highest honor. I gave it to Tiger Woods 2 weeks ago, or a short time ago. Great people are just incredible people, incredible, not only athletes, people generally. So it's the highest award, and it's the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and Dan Gable will be getting it. We've notified him, and I imagine he's thrilled.
Why should Iowa pick you over Vice President Biden? What will you do that's different from him, and what potential concerns do you have if he does win for the Iowa farmer and Iowans in general?
If Biden wins, you won't have any farms left. Don't forget, I got rid of the estate tax on farms. I cut your taxes. I cut taxes to a level, the biggest tax decrease ever. I got rid of a lot of your regulations, including the Clean Water, which sounds nice, the Clean Water Act, which took away your farms and took away your land. All of that stuff will be reinstituted. The estate tax will be put back. There are no estate taxes on these small farms and small businesses anymore because of me. And frankly, the Democrats don't like the farmers. We fight with them all the time. They like the cities. They don't like the farms. And we fight with them all the time for money and everything else. And nobody's done for the farmers what I've done. Again, $28 billion from China went to the farmers. And the farmers, if they had a bad season, they end up having a good season because I got them so much money. Nobody else could have done that. And we're looking for a lot more success over the next period of time. And we're also making great trade deals like the USMCA. We got rid of the horrible NAFTA deal. Now USMCA is just kicking in. And so the Democrats don't like farmers. They never have, and they've never been good to farmers. Nobody has ever done more for the Farm Belt or farmers than Donald Trump. Ever. Not even close.